Greetings. It is Vaygrim in a nice vlog thing. My chair. Much better. There we go. It is Tuesday, September 1st. Happy September, everybody. August has passed us by. I didn't do any vlogs last week specifically because I was under a lot of stress, under a lot of tension for various things. We go through periods, the wife and I go through periods of very tight financial situations. Basically, if it's one surprise bill or one unexpected expense comes up, it can throw our entire very tightly planned budget out of whack because we just don't have a lot of leeway right now. I think I've shared this with you. If I haven't, then I probably should have. Let me raise this up. Money coming in from Google, from like actual AdSense, has been down since January 1st for everybody, and it's getting worse. My earnings for July were 66% of what they were for June. In June, that was probably about only 90% of what it was for the month before that. In January, my revenue dropped by almost half from what I made on ads on a regular basis. So all money coming in from YouTube is basically just kind of like drying up very quickly, which is why I'm having to rely more and more on Patreon and on donations from you, my kind viewers. I went to the effort of setting up Vaygrim TV, channel number 4, which is a subscription-based channel for only $2 a month. If you live in the US or the UK, I think it's in the UK, it's like it's £1.50 or something like that, or £1.25, something like that. Anyway, but for about $2 US every month, you turn off all ads on all my channels, and you get to support me in what I do. It's a reoccurring thing. I've turned that on, and it's been going for about a month now, and nobody's taking advantage of it. I've got Google Tip Jar that has been up for a year now, better part of a year. Nobody uses it. I don't even think anybody even really understands what it is. The only thing people seem to really employ is Patreon. So, and I've had a stream donation page that I link to from my website, a stream tip page, for a long time. And that does not garner me anything. And so I run on tight budgets periodically. And since money from YouTube has been getting less and less and less, it is getting to the points where, I have a lot of weeks where we are completely broke. And I have to rely on a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for lunch. It's the way it is. So, every once in a while I have a week like that where I just don't feel like doing a vlog because I'm just not in the mood for it. I'm stressed out about a lot of stuff. I'm worrying about a lot of finances. So I do apologize for that, but I don't think those are the best moods for me to vlog in. But another paycheck, a brighter side to things, and we are in a positive period for once. We're using a new banking service called Simple.com. Simple is a real nice online banking service that has a lot of financial planning and saving aids, things to help you. They have a really cool phone app for like iOS, Android, and Windows Phone. Really cool app for your phone where you can look up your current balance up to the minute. You can set goals. Let's say I want to save $100 over 100 days. It will set that final date 100 days from now, and it will put aside $1 a day. And it just does it automatically. You don't even notice it because it sets that aside, and you have a number that you work with called your safe to spend amount. That is your balance minus all pending transactions, minus money you've set aside for goals, minus any checks you've mailed out, stuff like that. So it's really good. It's helping us a lot straighten our money issues out. We've been switching over to that gradually, but in the process of switching from one bank account to another and shifting the money from one to the other, the old one ended up with a whole bunch of transactions that slipped through that shouldn't have on an old credit card. that I thought I switched over to the new one. And so we ended up having to pay off a big bank balance, and that screwed up our whole finances. About $150 in overdraft charges and stuff like that. Not fun. So that messed up our finances for the second half of August, and it's going to happen. But we're evening back out again. We're straightening things out, and that's real good. We this past weekend made another step towards straightening our finances out. My nose has been running all day. I'm sorry. That's one thing that's why I didn't record my blog when I first got up in the morning with my coffee, because I've just been blowing my nose all day. Anyway, let's see. Another step that we made towards straightening our finances out was we've had AT&T for our cell phone service for years. My wife Jen had that service before we even met and got married. So she's been with AT&T for about 10 years, and their services get more and more and more expensive. We had the fortune and misfortune, I guess it's actually the proper phrase, of having an old unlimited AT&T account for data for smartphones. And those unlimited accounts, that unlimited data accounts basically flag you with AT&T, and I think it automatically tells their employees to be as big a jerk and as massive of a scam artist as they can to get you off those plans and scam as much money as possible off you. Every time we went into the store, as soon as they saw that we had unlimited plans, the people there would either start trying to use misguided and deceptive math to try and get you to swap off of that, or they would just flat start refusing to really cooperate. They'd treat you nasty. So this past weekend, we finally switched off AT&T. We went to T-Mobile. T-Mobile has been getting a lot of business from my family. I've got a brother that's been using it for several years now. I've got a sister-in-law that's been using it for several years. So pretty much over the last week, all the rest of my family swapped over to T-Mobile accounts. My wife and I now have a new account with them, and we don't have unlimited data. We could pay an extra $10 a month per line and get unlimited, but right now we have 10 gigs per line, and that's way more than the 3 gigs that we get with AT&T. And we're still saving $75 a month. That is huge. So $75 a month is going back into our pockets that was previously going to AT&T. That's significant. That is significant enough for me to take notice and to set aside any predetermined biases that I may have had against T-Mobile. The people at the stores were wonderful. They had tons of staff to help us. They found every single deal we could get. We got a chance to upgrade to new hardware, which is cool. I got a 6 Plus. The wife got a 6 Plus because I got big hands, big thumbs. So the actual normal-sized iPhones were actually kind of hard for me to use periodically, especially thumb texting. So I had a lot of situations where I was holding it in one hand and poking like that to actually do things in order to type accurately. I relied heavily on autocorrect on that old phone. This one is nice and big. It's I mean, as you can see, it's hand-sized. This thing is pretty huge. I got what's it called? Space Gray? I can't remember. Whatever. This is just a clear case we got from Amazon for $3. $3 or $4. I think it was $3. It was like $2.95 or something like that on Amazon. It's just a silicone gray case. It's really simple. It keeps your phone from breaking. It's got enough of a lip on the front that if I drop the phone face down, it does not hit flat on the actual screen. It hits on the edge. It's got enough of a lip on the back that the lens from the camera is protected. I'm real impressed by this phone so far. The camera technology in it's amazing. It'll actually shoot 60 FPS at 1080p 60 FPS, which is cool. But it actually does 240 FPS slow motion video. So I'm going to mess with that a lot. I fully realize not everybody that I know is a fan of iOS and iPhones, and I accept that. I do not think that Android phones are crap. I think Android phones are great. You can do a lot of stuff with them you can't do with iPhones. They're not for me, though. And I want you guys to respect that. So anybody that starts posting negative or bashing comments in the comments section down below, I will ban you from the channel. Full stop. I don't stand for platform wars. I don't care. I'm sick of it. I like what I like. You like what you like. Let's just go our separate ways. It's fine. But we upgraded phones. We're going to have a wireless hotspot that we're going to be picking up the hardware for in about a week, I think it is. And it's like $100. $100 for the box. It's a little thing, about that big. You charge it up. It's got its own 5 gigabyte bandwidth line. I plan to use that for outings and conventions and stuff, so we can actually upload things, upload video and whatnot. So between de-stressing a lot by straightening out some bills and swapping over to a new mobile phone service and bring up a whole bunch more money, things are looking up, looking very, very bright. Over the last week since I've last vlogged, I've hit the 7,000 and 7,100 mark on the primary channel for subscribers, which is very, very cool. I'm happy about that. Over the last week, YouTube Gaming has launched, and I posted a video about it, a brief video explaining how it works. I'm going to post another more in-depth video that actually explains the likes and dislikes I have with that service. There's a lot of things about that website that are great, and there's even more stuff that just doesn't make sense. I don't see why they decided to do that. It seems like that website is filled with massive missteps in executive decisions, very similar to how Google Plus was. Google Plus was this really hard right turn in an odd direction from what they'd been doing with YouTube, and trying to integrate it into YouTube seemed like a really bizarre decision, especially how they forced it. Well, now there's a whole bunch more even stranger decisions on YouTube Gaming, and it really dissociates the website from YouTube, which seems like a bad thing to me. So yeah, I'm still figuring that out, but I'm gonna have another video out on that later in the week. I'm probably gonna post some test footage here from this thing, some test video footage on this on this third channel, Vaygrim's Rest. Because I want to experiment with it some and see what kind of things I can do with it, especially the slow motion video thing. I'm just curious. Let's see. What else has changed? Things are going very well on Forgecraft 2. That series seems to have hit a lot of popularity. It's getting even more views than my primary series, Vaygrim's Chance, but that doesn't entirely surprise me. It is Forgecraft. I'm having a lot of fun on that server. I'm having way more fun this season than I did last season with the underwater base. The coop is built. I'm not having to worry about constantly building structure. I got that done in the first couple of episodes. Now I can just expand the tech. I can just do what I want to. I've been fooling with Botania. I just, like yesterday, started doing a whole bunch of the early research for Thaumcraft so I could start fiddling with that. They have warp turned on, though, so I'm going to have to be careful. I do not want to get a whole bunch of warp too quickly. I need to actually make sure that I have a, what's it called? The fizzy bath thing. I need to have one of those. I want to get one of those set up. I'm not sure where I'm going to set that up. I think I'm going to have to set it up somewhere outside. But basically get some bath salts and some water, and, I need to make that so I can actually get some of the more advanced research and make sure I don't get any warp. It's pretty simple stuff. I just need to be diligent about it now. I don't have to worry about it in my single-player series. The whole chicken thing has been very, very popular with a lot of people in the server that thought it's been a clever idea. A couple of people don't understand it, but everybody else thinks it's very funny, and I've been having a blast with it. I've been getting chickens that I've been raising, making chickens. All the chickens I have drop eggs, so I do rounds around the farm regularly, around the coop grounds, and I get all these extra eggs, and I make some, chicks and some baby chickens, and I will get random chickens and a name tag. I'll rename the name tag to something like Albert or Reginald or Bethany, and then I'll bottle that chicken up in a soul vial from Ender.io, take it over to somebody's base. I put the chicken down, put the name tag on them, and leave them. So I'm getting accused of leaving chicken spies all over the base. It's kind of funny. I left one in T-Fox's base, TTFD Cuts' base. I think there's one in Mysterious Age's base. I have left one. I have one specifically earmarked for Soren and Direwolf's base, but their base doesn't have walls yet. So we'll see. Yeah, but it's been fun. It's just a gag. It's a dumb thing I've been doing. Somebody comes back and there's a named chicken in their base. It's just one of the dumb things. In regards to second channel news, Vaygrim's Choice, I'm putting Dragon Age Origins on pause. It is going on hiatus, specifically because the views on it are at less than a quarter of what it was when it first started. I expect let's say I get 1,000 views an episode. Let's say when I start a series, I expect that over the first 5 episodes, it's going to drop from 1,000 to probably about 800 to 600. That happens. It's just a thing. People start off on the new series, and then by 3 or 4 episodes in, they get distracted and go somewhere else. But usually, if it hits around 600 after the 5th or 6th episode, it hovers there. Dragon Age Origins has been in a steady decline over the last 10 or 15 episodes. It's now at a point where it is receiving, it's actually not less than a quarter. It's less than, I think, 15% of what it used to get when it was actually in the first 10 episodes. So it has seen a massive decline in attention span. People don't really mess with it, want to worry about watching episodes of it. I have a very small number of hardcore, diehard viewers. So it's going to be relegated to the back burner. I'll put out an episode when I can, but otherwise I'm going to devote my primary attention on the channel to other things. Transistor ended, and in Transistor's place I've started up Alien Isolation. It's seeing a lot of positive attention. I'm going to go and try and do 3 episodes a week. I'm doing face cam with that. I'm not doing ads, any of my little notice banner ads across the bottom of the screen. I'm not doing those because I don't want to break immersion. And I've been having a lot of fun in that game. I specifically record it at night, after midnight, with as many of my lights off in the house as I can. When it's pitch black, the only light I have to have on is my camera light for filming, so you can actually see my face on the webcam. Otherwise, though, it's very dark in this house, and it gets creepy, especially late at night when it's just me, the only person awake. So, yeah, it's interesting. I've been having a lot of fun with that series, so Alien Isolation is taking over Transistor's time slot. I'm going to be doing one-offs in the Wednesday and Saturday time slots. I'm not going to start up a new complex series. I'm just going to do one-offs. It'll be Guild Wars 2 stuff sometimes. I might do Warframe videos every once in a while. I want to do Sir, You Are Being Hunted. I want to do the Guild of Dungeoneering. Just little one-off episodes. I might do some repeats on some content, Guild of Dungeoneering might be a few episodes. Could be fun. We'll see. It doesn't have a difficulty setting, and that game gets difficult real quick for me. So we'll see how well that works out. I've been a little disappointed in Guild of Dungeoneering specifically because the first dungeon's easy. The second dungeon that you do, or all the dungeons you do after the first dungeon, get very difficult very, very quickly. It escalates in difficulty rapidly. So if you hit slightly the wrong kind of random number generator, you get cards to make your way through dungeons. If you get slightly the wrong hand, or if you don't get just the right equipment at the right time, it's impossible to get through some of the dungeons for me. So I've asked them if there's going to be a difficulty setting added in there, a difficulty slider, and they said that they're going to be adding it, but it's later on the wish list. We'll see. But I definitely want to do Sir, You Are Being Hunted. That game looks awesome. Jacksepticeye has recently refound it, and he's been going through it. I wanted to do it for a while. They added, supposedly, cooperative multiplayer in it. I think it could be cool to get a friend and go through it. We'll see who I know that actually has it. Wednesdays and Saturdays are going to be one-offs, fan suggestions from you, my viewers, stuff like that. So that's general goings-on. 20 minutes or less. That's the general goings-on with the status of all the channels. I'm probably going to put out an actual legit primary channel news video on the main channel at some point in the next week to kind of update everybody on the status of Patreon, the status of the server, because I have the test server. I'm going to be resetting it for another patch for 109 of the mod pack. I have some final things that I want to put in, some final updates that I want to do, and then either 109 or 110 are probably going to be the last patches that mod pack is going to see. And I'm going to stop development. I'm going to shut down the test server, which means then I'm going to have to readjust my Patreon goals, and I'm probably going to have a drop-off of people that are only using this as a... And I'm not trying to diminish what my testers have done. My testers have been very, very valuable to me. They helped me find a lot of bugs with the 108 patch that I finally was able to roll out. But I know it's foregone conclusion that if I turn off I haven't been on that test server in like a month, and I failed those people, and I really need to apologize to them because I'm not a very good patron. I've been bad at it. The first 6 months I had Patreon up, I promised like postcards and regular monthly news, and I failed in all of those. I got the test server up, and I stepped on about probably once a week for about an hour on the test server, but mostly I waited for information to come to me because I've just been so busy. So I need to not do as much of that kind of stuff on my Patreon because I can't really I have a hard time sticking to it because I just don't have the free time. I'm doing so many videos to try and keep attention, to try and keep my place in people's minds, to try and keep myself relevant, that it's hard to do I'm going to live stream twice a week from the test server. I think I promised that a couple of times, and I've never done it, not once. And I feel horrible about it. But there's points where I just don't have the time. So I am not a single, bachelor guy. I am married. I have a wife. My wife is a very high priority in my life. She is the most important thing to me above and beyond YouTube. But, so there's days where we spend, we have date nights every week or two, depends on finances. Sometimes we'll have a date night here at the house and, bust out the cheesy candles or something. But I don't think we've ever done candles, but we talked about it. She knows that YouTube is very important to me, not more important than her, but she knows it's very important. And so she does give me space in the evenings to do some things, but it's still the factor of I kind of feel bad prioritizing YouTube too much over my own spouse. So I really do try to spend time with her and keep myself available to her if she wants to do something. So I just can't put out content, live streaming, and everything 24/7. It's just not that easy. But I am trying. And I'm just going to have to reevaluate what I want to do with my Patreon for goals. I might just have to do a kind of a gratitude thing. Just, thank you. And see where that goes from there. I don't know. I really do need to evaluate it during September and redo it, though. That's my goal. So the test server is probably going to get reset to the 109 patch that I'm working on right now for my mod pack. I'm probably going to actually not reset it, but update it. Then a couple of weeks later reset it so people have a pre-established base and a pre-established set of resources that we can kind of redo some stuff with. But I do need to see also, well, I don't know. We'll see. I can probably just progress it. People still ask every single day. I get somebody asking if I'm going to add Mechanism 8 to my mod pack, and the answer is still no. Until I can safely get any world and update from Mechanism 7 to Mechanism 8, and I have not been able to so far, until I can do it bulletproof 99% of the time, I'm not going to risk it. Because Aiden C. Brady himself said that you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to start a new world with Mechanism 8. And I vowed when I started making this mod pack that I'm not going to do any updates that require a world reset. Period. Full stop. Because I hate it, and I expect that other casual players hate it too. So, yeah. I am going to shuffle off and get some more video rendering. I hope everybody's having a good week. I'm going to try and get another vlog out later in the week. I really need to get better about it. I am sorry about that. But expect some fun videos and stuff. I'm going to see if I can find some way to harass the cat and get them to participate in some slow motion video. We'll see. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great week. Bye.